Let me ask you something. When was the last time you gave a woman a compliment that truly made her stop and think? Not just a polite thank you, but a real moment where she looked at you with admiration, appreciation, maybe even a little intrigue. If you can't remember, or if you've been relying on the same old lines, stick with me. Hey, I'm Mark. And in this video, we're going to break down 8 powerful compliments that go beyond the surface, compliments that actually mean something. These aren't the usual "you look pretty" or "nice dress" kind of lines. Those don't stick. Women hear them all the time. Instead, these are compliments that tap into something deeper. Something real. Something that will make her feel seen and understood in a way that most men completely overlook. And let's be clear, this isn't about flattery. A Stoic man doesn't throw out compliments just to get a reaction. He speaks with intention. He observes, he recognizes, and when he compliments someone, it's because he truly means it. The Stoics believed in focusing on the essence of things, seeing past the illusions, the distractions, the surface. And that's exactly what these compliments do. They cut through the noise and speak directly to what truly makes a woman remarkable. Before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe if you're ready to master your mindset and relationships through the power of Stoicism. Every video here is designed to help you become sharper, more confident, and more in control of your life. Alright, let's get into it. And yes, the first compliment: in a world where everyone is chasing the external, you impress with your inner harmony. You have a depth that I want to explore. Most men, when complimenting a woman, focus on her external beauty, her eyes, smile, dress. And while these words are nice to hear, they don't make her feel special. Women are used to being judged by their appearance, but few people recognize something deeper of her inner world, way of thinking, emotional balance. This compliment is powerful because it tells her, you see beyond the surface. You notice not only how she looks today, but also how she behaves, how she thinks, how she stays focused in a chaotic world. This is a rare and important observation that most people overlook. By saying this, you make her feel like a real woman, not just one who looks pretty in photos, but one whose presence is deeply felt. And believe me, she will remember this feeling for a long time. The key to using this compliment is timeliness and sincerity. Don't give it randomly, wait for the moment when she reveals something about herself, something that hints at her inner strength or emotional intelligence. For example, she talks about how she stays calm in stressful situations. She shares her perspective on personal growth, mindfulness, or resilience. You notice that she doesn't get caught up in drama or ridiculous trends. Then you pause, look her in the eye, and say, "You know, in a world where everyone is chasing the external, you really stand out. You have a depth in you that I want to explore." Spoken with genuine interest, it's not just a compliment, it's an invitation for her to open up. A signal that you are interested in who she really is, not just what she presents to the world. The Stoics believed that the external world is fleeting: beauty, status, material success, these things can come and go. What really matters is inner harmony, wisdom, and virtue. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote, "The soul is colored by the color of its thoughts." In other words, we are not defined by our appearance or possessions, but by our character and way of thinking. When you give this compliment, you align yourself with this Stoic principle. You are showing that you are not fixated on superficial charms, you value something deeper. You recognize that the true essence of a woman is not in her appearance, but in the way she navigates the world. What about this? Most men never express this point of view. By using this compliment, you're not just making her feel special, you're showing her that you read different from her. You see the world through a sharper lens. And that alone sets you apart from all the other guys in the room. And before we move on to the next compliment that will help you conquer any woman, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments how long you have been interested in Stoicism. Thank you very much. And now let's move on to the next compliment, which reads as follows: "You have the unique strength to remain yourself regardless of the circumstances." This is a real rarity. In a world where people are constantly adapting, adjusting, and filtering themselves to fit in, finding someone who stays true to themselves is a rarity. Many people change their views, values, and even their personalities under the influence of trends, peer pressure, or fear of standing out. Women, in particular, often face enormous societal expectations of how they should look, behave, or think. But when you meet a woman who refuses to submit to external forces, who stays true to her beliefs, her values, and her essence, that's something to be admired. This compliment affirms her independence and inner strength. He tells her, "I see that you are not like everyone else. I see that you don't just follow the crowd, and I deeply respect that." Most compliments focus on what a woman does, but this one emphasizes who she is. It makes it personal, memorable. It makes it personal, memorable, and strong. It's not a compliment you can just throw around. It is meant for a woman of strong character who does not compromise to please others. You'll know when to use it if she stands her ground in a conversation, even if her opinion is unpopular. Shares a personal story about how she went against expectations and followed her own path. Has a unique way of thinking or approach to life that is not influenced by external noise. Let's say you're talking and she mentions how she chose an unconventional career path despite the fact that others doubted her. Or maybe she refuses to participate in gossip when others do, staying true to her principles. This is your moment. Look at her and say, "You know, a lot of people change depending on who is around them. But you have the unique power to stay true to yourself, no matter what the circumstances." That's rare, and it's something I really admire. Spoken in a calm, confident tone, this is not just a compliment, it is a deep recognition of her essence. And believe me, when a woman feels truly appreciated, it creates a connection that goes beyond superficial attraction. One of the main teachings of Stoicism is that external circumstances should never dictate our inner world. A Stoic remains unchanged, calm, disciplined, and true to his values regardless of whether he faces praise or criticism, good fortune or hardship. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "No one can be free who is not the master of himself." True freedom is not about doing whatever you want, but about having the strength to stay true to yourself despite external pressures. When you give this compliment, you recognize that she owns herself. You recognize that she doesn't depend on what others think or expect, she lives by her own code. And when you admire that in her, you also reveal something about yourself, that you too value authenticity over approval, that you see strength in integrity, and that you respect those who refuse to bend to the world's expectations. Most men don't notice these things. But a Stoic sees deeper. And when you make her feel understood on that level, you stand out in a way that few men do. The next compliment is one of my favorites. "You remind me of one of the greatest virtues, wisdom. I feel that you not only live, but also understand life." Most compliments women receive are about beauty, charm, or personality, but very few recognize something much deeper: wisdom. Intelligence is recognized, but wisdom? That's a whole other level. Wisdom is not just knowledge of facts or a sharp mind. It is about understanding life, seeing things clearly, overcoming challenges with grace, and making decisions that reflect experience and understanding. By paying this compliment, you are saying to her, "I see that you are not just moving through life, but that you truly understand it." This recognition is powerful because it separates her from the crowd. It tells her that she is a person with depth, with a perspective that goes beyond the surface. And in a world obsessed with fast entertainment and superficiality, recognizing someone's wisdom is a rare and deeply meaningful gesture. This compliment works best when it reveals thoughtfulness, emotional intelligence, or a perspective that shows depth. For example, she expresses an insightful view of a relationship, work, or personal growth. She shares a lesson she learned from her own experience rather than simply repeating common advice. She handles a challenging situation with patience and a sober mind. Let's say you're talking and she's explaining why she doesn't give in to drama anymore, or how she's learned to focus on what really matters in life. Then you look at her and say, You know, a lot of people just go through life without thinking about it. And you? You remind me of one of the greatest virtues, wisdom. I feel that you are not just living, but truly understanding life. Spoken with calm sincerity, this is not just a compliment, it is a confirmation of her depth and maturity. It makes her feel special, not only as a woman, but also as a person with a rare and valuable perspective on life. Wisdom is one of the 4 cardinal virtues of Stoicism, along with courage, justice, and moderation. The Stoics believed that a wise person does not just react to life, but understands it, accepts it, and navigates it with clarity and purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Don't waste any more time arguing about what a good person should be. Just be one." True wisdom is not about talking, but about living with awareness, making the right choices, and understanding what really matters. When you give this compliment, you are aligning yourself with Stoic principles, recognizing that the highest value is not in possessions, status, or beauty, but in the ability to see life clearly and act accordingly. And when you admire someone else's wisdom, it shows that you too value depth over distraction, self-awareness over impulse, and meaning over momentary pleasure. Most people don't notice this. But a Stoic? A Stoic sees the essence of things. And when you see this wisdom in it and recognize it, this is a connection that few people are capable of. The 4th conciliation is as follows: you have a calm look in your eyes, but I'm sure there's a lot of determination behind it. It is impressive. Most people think that determination is a loud word, that it means being bold, aggressive, or constantly moving forward. But true strength often comes from being calm, collected, and in control. A woman who carries herself with calm confidence, who doesn't feel the need to prove anything to the world, stands out from the crowd. This compliment works because it recognizes something beneath the surface, something that most people don't notice. He tells her, "I see your quiet strength. I see your resilience, even if you don't show it." This is powerful because many women carry an inner fire that goes unrecognized. Some of them have worked hard to get to where they are, faced challenges without complaining, or pursued goals with silent, unrelenting determination. By pointing this out, you help her feel truly noticed. This compliment works best when you observe a combination of calm and quiet strength in her actions or behavior. Look for moments when she calmly responds to pressure instead of reacting emotionally to it, speaks with calm confidence instead of trying to dominate the conversation, overcomes difficulties without making a big deal out of it. For example, let's say you're talking and she tells you about a difficult situation that she handled with grace, a difficult boss, a career challenge, or a personal struggle that she overcame without drama. And then you say, "You know, you have this calm look in your eyes, but I can see that there's a lot of determination behind it. It's really impressive." This moment is impressive in a different way, because it's not just a general compliment, it's an observation of her true nature. It makes her feel understood in a way that few people can express. The Stoics believe that true strength lies in silence, that the strongest people are those who do not need to brag, get angry, or seek external recognition. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The closer a man is to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." Strength is not about being loud. It is inner discipline, perseverance, and the ability to endure without flinching. When you give this compliment, you recognize a Stoic quality in her, the ability to remain calm under pressure while having a strong will beneath the surface. And by doing so, you show that you value depth over ostentation, substance over showmanship. In a world that celebrates flashy confidence, you admire the quiet strength that truly moves mountains. It's a compliment she won't forget. Well, we've already covered half of the compliments, and using at least one of them, you'll be able to win the heart of a lady this week. But don't rush to turn off this video and run to practice it, because the next compliments are even more powerful than the ones we've already covered. The 5th compliment on our list focuses on real beauty, not the kind you might think. It goes like this: the Stoics believe that character is our best jewel, and your character shines brighter than any jewel. Most compliments women receive focus on physical beauty, how her eyes sparkle, how elegant she looks, or how attractive she is. While these compliments are nice, they are temporary and common. What really sets a person apart is their character, the way they behave, the choices they make, and the principles they follow. This compliment works because it tells her, I don't just see your beauty, I see what makes you exceptional as a person. It shifts the focus from appearance to inner virtues that most men overlook. In a world obsessed with image, recognizing a woman's inner radiance has a much deeper impact. This compliment should be given when you witness a display of character, when she does something that reflects integrity, kindness, or resilience. Use it when she chooses honesty over convenience in a difficult situation, shows kindness without expecting anything in return, stands up for what she believes in, even if it's unpopular. For example, imagine you're having a conversation and she shares a story about how she stood by a friend when others pulled away, or made a difficult decision based on her values rather than pressure. Then you pause, look at her and say, you know, the Stoics believe that character is our best jewelry. And your character? It shines brighter than any jewel. The main thing is sincerity. It's not just flattery, it's a deep recognition of her true value. And when a woman feels that she is valued for her character, it makes an indelible impression. Stoicism teaches that true value lies not in wealth, beauty, or status, but in virtue. Seneca once said, no decoration will make you what you are like the cultivation of virtue. The Stoics considered character to be the highest form of beauty, something that never fades, unlike youth or appearance. By giving this compliment, you are sharing this view. You are telling her that her honesty, courage, and integrity are what truly make her outstanding. And by appreciating her character rather than her superficial traits, you set yourself apart from most men. You show that you, too, value what is real, solid, and truly valuable. And what is that? It makes an impact she won't forget. You remind me that true beauty is not what the eyes see, but what you feel when you are with someone. And you make me feel real. This is the 6th compliment on our list. Impressive, isn't it? Most beauty compliments are superficial and repetitive, like you're gorgeous or you have beautiful eyes. While they may be flattering, they don't set you apart from other guys who say the same thing. This compliment shifts perspective. It tells her that beauty is not only visual, but also how you feel when you are around her. It speaks to something deeper than looks, something most people would never recognize. The way she makes people feel about themselves. The authenticity she exudes. The comfort and warmth in her presence. He tells her, your beauty goes beyond your appearance, your presence is real, rare, and unforgettable. And believe me, when a woman hears this, she remembers it in a way that no superficial compliment will. This compliment should be used when you genuinely feel connected to her energy, presence, or authenticity. Ideal moments to use it. When she makes you feel at ease, like you can be yourself. When she is fully present in the conversation, not just going through the motions. When her energy is so genuine that you feel something deeper just by being around her. For example, imagine that you are talking and she is sharing a personal story. She is completely living in the moment, not pretending, not trying to impress you, but being herself. You feel this authenticity, and that's when you say, you know, you remind me that true beauty is not only what we see, but also what we feel. And with you, you feel real. You feel real. The key here? Say it like you mean it. Look her in the eye, speak slowly, and let her feel the truth in your words. Stoicism teaches us that outward beauty is fleeting. It's not what determines a person's true worth. Instead, it is the inner authenticity, presence, and character that counts. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul is colored by the color of its thoughts. In other words, true beauty is not in appearance, but in how we live, how we think, and how we make others feel. When you give a compliment like this, you show that you value something deeper than just physical attractiveness. You recognize the essence of a person, the way they make the world around them feel. And by doing so, you show that you are a person who sees beyond the surface. What is it? This is a compliment she will never forget. The next compliment recognizes the woman's unwavering presence. There's something majestic about the way you carry yourself, as if you know that no little storm will shake your inner peace. Most people compliment what they see: the woman's beauty, her style, her smile. But few people note the way she carries herself, the calm confidence that radiates strength without arrogance. This compliment is powerful because it speaks to something deep and rare: her inner stability. In a world where people are easily swayed by stress, opinions, and external pressures, someone who remains balanced and unwavering is truly outstanding. This is not about being cold or emotionless, but about recognizing her ability to weather the storms of life with grace. He tells her, "You're not just confident, you have an inner foundation that keeps you steady no matter what life throws at you." And believe me, when a woman hears this, it touches her in a different way. Because deep down, everyone wants her inner strength to be recognized, not just her appearance. This compliment is best used when you see her handling pressure, conflicts, or challenges with calmness. Use it when she remains calm and composed in a difficult situation, shows grace under pressure by refusing to give in to negativity, speaks with poise and calm confidence, never feeling the need to prove herself. For example, imagine you're with her and something stressful happens. Maybe someone was rude to her, or she's dealing with a problem at work. Instead of reacting emotionally, she remains calm, collected, and in full control of her emotions. That's when you lean in, look her in the eye, and say, "You know, there's something majestic about the way you're holding up." As if no small storm can shake your inner world. It's really impressive. The key to making this compliment land? Say it with depth, as if you recognize something rare. When a woman feels that her resilience and composure are truly noticed, it creates an emotional connection that most men never tap into. The Stoics believed that our true power lies in mastering our emotions, not letting external events dictate our inner world. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This means that most of life's problems are not caused by the events themselves, but by the way we react to them. The Stoic remained steadfast, knowing that external chaos should not disturb the inner peace. When you give this compliment, you show that you recognize and admire this strength in her, that she, too, is the embodiment of Stoic thinking. And when you appreciate not only the way she looks, but also the way she carries herself in the face of life's storms, you stand out as someone who sees true strength. This is a compliment that will stay with her forever. Well, we've come to the final and my favorite compliment on this list. Just listen to how it sounds and you'll understand. Your presence is a calm confidence that doesn't need any extra words. It is a real power that does not require proof. In today's world, confidence is often loud and performative. People feel the need to show off, prove themselves, or seek validation through words and actions. But true confidence? It's quiet, steady, and doesn't need attention to exist. This compliment works because it highlights something rare and valuable: the ability to own a space without demanding it. A woman who has calm confidence doesn't need to be the loudest person in the room. She doesn't chase approval or compete for attention, she just is. And that is far more powerful than any forced display of confidence. By giving this compliment, you are telling her, "I see the strength in your silence. I see the way you don't need to prove anything because you already know your worth. And trust me, that kind of recognition is unforgettable." This compliment works best when she demonstrates presence and self-assurance without trying to impress anyone. Use it when she listens more than she speaks, but commands respect effortlessly. Walks into a room with grace and presence, without seeking attention. Handles herself with ease and control, never feeling the need to explain or justify her worth. For example, imagine you're at a social gathering. Some people are trying too hard to be noticed, speaking loudly or competing for attention. But she's just there, relaxed and completely comfortable in her own skin. You notice that people are drawn to her energy, not because she's demanding attention, but because she exudes confidence without needing to prove it. That's when you lean in and say, "You know, your presence is different." It's a calm confidence that doesn't need any extra words. That's real power, the kind that doesn't need proof. Delivered in a slow, intentional way, this compliment hits deeper than any surface-level praise. It tells her you see what others don't, that her quiet confidence is what truly makes her powerful. The Stoics believe that real strength doesn't need recognition, it simply exists. The greatest leaders and thinkers of history didn't seek validation, they let their actions and presence speak for themselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This is the essence of true confidence. It doesn't need to be debated, announced, or performed. It just is. By giving this compliment, you are aligning with this Stoic principle. You're recognizing that she embodies real strength, not through words, but through the way she moves through the world. And when you admire her quiet power, you show that you, too, understand what true confidence looks like. That makes her see you differently, too. Now that you have these 8 powerful compliments, you may be wondering why they work so well. It's very simple. Most men throw around general compliments about their appearance, hoping for a reaction. But the truth is, women hear them all the time. They don't make an impression. What makes these compliments different is that they speak to something deeper: a woman's character, wisdom, presence, and strength. These compliments say to her, "I see you, not just your appearance. I admire your depth, not just your charm. I recognize your inner strength, not just your outer features." And when you do that, you stand out not just as a person who notices, but as a person who understands. Stoicism teaches us that true admiration lies in recognizing what is real and lasting. A Stoic does not compliment to get something in return. He does not flatter or seek approval. Instead, he observes, appreciates, and speaks with intention. Seneca once said, "There is nothing more honorable than a grateful heart." And that's exactly what these compliments are: genuine appreciation for the qualities that really matter. So here's my challenge to you: try giving one of these compliments this week. But don't rush it. Wait for the right moment when you see something real, when you genuinely feel admiration. Because when you see beyond the surface, when you recognize and appreciate what most men overlook, you build a connection that goes beyond attraction. You create a real impact. And that's what makes you unforgettable. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to learn more about how to manage relationships and mindset with Stoic wisdom. Now, tell me in the comments, what's the most powerful compliment you've ever received or been told? Let's get the conversation started. See you in the next episode. Stay strong, stay smart, and as always, stay stoic.